Are you looking for a good legendary fusion rifle for Season 15 with the new particle deconstruction mod? Well, don't worry, in this video I got a few picks I think are going to be definitely ones to look for. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it so you can decide to add these to your arsenal today. Alright, I'm just going to say this real quick. I took all of these into actual alignment, and that's how I got my final impressions on them. Now, some of these I have actually used in person. There is one that is going to be a little bit more difficult to obtain. I'm just going to say that now, and I will tell you which one it is when we get there. Please do note that there are some that aren't as hard to get, and there's some that I would recommend to not look out for. And this took a lot of time to get because I had all the footage at hand before. Sorry, a little bit of a hiccup there. And I lost it all, so I had to go back through real quick and get it all back. So anyway, without further ado, the first one that we are going to get into is going to be the Plug 1. Alright, and as you see here, the Plug 1, pretty nasty little fusion rifle. Alright, now this is the regular one, and I'm going to say this real quick because this is the Adept one. There's two different variants, and I'm going to show you the Adept one real quick. Alright, so that you guys can see it. The Plug 1 here, the Adept Plug 1, and any of the Adept weapons can use special mods called Adept mods. Like this one has Adept Big One spec. This one here is particularly nasty. And by the way, the Plug 1 edged out guns like the Hollow Words. Not bad. And the Teching Force. This one had potential, not gonna lie. And as you see by the background gameplay here, the Plug 1 here with Feeding Frenzy Reservoir Burst, which I call the No Composure roll, quite nasty. Once Feeding Frenzy kicks in, guys, the fire rate on this gun actually improves a little bit, and the reload speed improves just a hair. But overall, this thing is like a mini shrapnel. This thing is like a mini shrapnel launcher. And you see that Phalanx there try to push me off the edge, and he didn't like the results. And makes very, very short work of yellow bars. Alright, not even gonna lie. How you actually acquire the Plug 1 is from Hero or higher Nightfalls. The Adept Plug 1 you get from Grandmaster Nightfalls. Alright. And same with the Adept Big One spec mod you get from Grandmaster Nightfalls. Alright. That's why I did not include that footage in this, because I want you guys to see just a regular Plug 1. I wanted to put the Adept roll in there for you guys so you guys can see an Adept roll, so you guys can understand it and understand the difference as well. I'm just going to say this now. If I sound a little under the weather, I'm still waking up and it's allergy season for me, so it's kind of bleh. Alright. But when Reservoir Burst kicks in, as you see the carnage this thing can unleash. Honestly, Plug 1, not bad damage. It does tend to get a little crazy. Perks I would look for is... sorry, allergy season once again. I would look for Feeding Frenzy, Reservoir Burst, Rampage, Frenzy, Heating Up. Masterworks I would look for. This is going to introduce a new one to you guys, for you non-fusion rifle guys, charge time. Because if you can get that charge time down low, you're going to be able to delay. You're going to be able to dish out a lot more damage really, really fast. And I mean, just ridiculously fast. Because you see this one, the charge time on this one is kind of middle field, about average fusion rifle time for a non-rapid fire frame. But Masterworks I would look for is charge time, reload speed, handling, and that's really it on the Masterworks. And I gave you guys a perk list, but one I'll definitely look for is Vorpal Weapon or Reservoir Burst. Those two are going to be absolute hot ones. Alright, now the Null Composure. I'm going to go over this real quick because this one's been lurking and going crazy already, but it edged out the Zealot's Reward. I don't like this gun. I've never had a good one. But the Null Composure, I chose Null Composure over the Zealot's Reward. As one, I've never gotten a Zealot's Reward I liked. And two, that one's going to be a little bit more difficult to obtain because it's come from the Garden of Salvation raid. Which, by the way, if push comes to shove, I can take some of you guys through the Garden of Salvation raid with no problem. and I could teach you guys a raid and walk you guys through it, so you guys can farm for one for yourself. Now, as you see by the background gameplay here, the Null Composure, really low charge time, and this thing is absolutely mental. Well, quick swap there to the Chroma Rush and back to the Null Composure. Only thing is, though, with Reservoir Burst, I did forget to mention this with the Plug 1. If you want to keep that Reservoir Burst active, you have to constantly be reloading the gun. But without having that Reservoir Burst, this thing is quite dangerous. As you see here by the few ads I was mopping up already, this thing hits like a truck. Alright, and I'm going to come across an Overlord Champion in this clip too, and I am going to absolutely just wipe the floor with him. And it also works really good for dispatching screeps. Range, not bad. I wouldn't say this thing is like a sniper rifle, but you know, for a fusion, it's got some distance. Plug 1, the distance on the Plug 1, this thing actually has a little bit more distance to it than the Plug 1. But at the same time, for a good close quarter engagement, I would still choose the Null Composure. And as you see, I'm testing all these with the particle deconstruction mod, so you guys can see the damage numbers when that mod kicks in, so you guys can make that call for yourself. I forgot to mention that earlier. I am so sorry, guys. Alright. Now, as you see, it's actually really good for cleanup ads and getting those multi-kills in, and also generating orbs of light for your team and for yourself as well, and deleting enemies' coding, as you just saw. Alright, and if you add high energy fire to it, this thing just goes through the roof. I am so sorry, guys. Now, Mr. Unstoppable Boy there, he got sat down real quick. Now, watch the chunk I do on him. See? No Composure is nothing to sneer at. And a little gameplay there of the Canis Major grenade launcher. Now, like I said, guys, I took all these in astral alignment in just like 4 or 5 different sessions because I had some footage and, well, lost it. Because I cleared out a bunch of old clips and, well, cleared out the wrong ones. But as you see in here, how quickly I'm able to transition between targets with the Null and go back through and just start knocking them down one by one. Honestly, I like the Null Composure. Overlord Champion, by the way, the aforementioned one. See how quickly he just kind of disappeared. Now, with the Null Composure, Feeding Frenzy, Reservoir, or Heating Up High Impact, you can actually mix two, which I really like that. That's why I chose this one. Now, the Iota Draconis. As you see here, lead from gold and Adiago on this one. Particle repeater, ionized battery, small bore, hammer forged rifling. Guys, you remember how I said the Null Composure hit like a truck? And the Plug 1 also hit pretty hard as well. Guys, this thing is like throwing an 18-wheeler at your enemies. I've jokingly made the comment to some friends of mine that this thing is like a less angry version of the 1000 Voices. Which, by the way, the 1000 Voices is the Last Wish raid exotic. And if you guys want, I'll get you some gameplay of that. For those of you guys who have no idea what I'm talking about, it is absolutely violent. The only thing I do not like about this gun is the charge time. This one has a charge time, even masterwork, of 960. Yes, and that corrupted raider there and me, we didn't quite see eye to eye on something. So, that's my only drawback with the Iota, is the charge time. Alright, I actually got a little angry here, swapped off to the Canis Major, and was going to proceed to annihilate everything within a 5-foot radius of where I died at. Well, like I said, the only drawback I had with the Iota is the charge time. If you can get one with a charge time masterwork, it'll drop it down to like 960, which is kind of gnarly. Wouldn't be good for, say, like a boss fight or like a raid boss fight, or, you know, just quick close quarter engagements like this champion here, but as you see, the damage makes up for the charge time. Like Mr. Overload here. 1, 2, 3, and somebody come in with the cleanup. As you saw the damage numbers there, this thing is no joke. It's more or less one of those guns that, like, if you have like a stationary target like a Walker tank or a slow target like those Abominations, this thing will do some damage. But if you treat it like a 1K as well, it works really well. Lead from Gold is a great perk on it. Adiago is a great perk, but it slows down the fire rate as well. Vorpal Weapon would be good. Frenzy would be good. If you can get this thing with Chain Reaction, you have a baby 1K. Masterwork, Masterworks I would look for charge time, handling, reload speed. And this is actually a seasonal weapon. That's something I did forget to mention. I am so sorry. I'm like recording this early in the morning, guys. So it's seasonal weapon. Definitely look into it as well. A really good choice. Alright, now the Cartesian Coordinate. Guys, I have personally slept on this weapon. Enhanced battery, slideways, and swashbuckler. And actually, not a bad roll. Reload speed, masterwork. But guys, I want you to watch this thing. This little ball of anger here, with that really low charge time, as you saw on this one, I am able to get shots off just bam, bam, bam. I'm treating this thing like a shotgun. Alright, the charge time of this thing, like I said, is absolutely just mind-bogglingly low. I am personally looking for one with a charge time masterwork, just to see how just ridiculous this thing can get. But this right here is actually really, really popular for a lot of raids now, a lot of higher tier content, like some of the Legend and Master Nightfalls and Legend Lost Sectors and Master Lost Sectors, because as you're seeing, and with Swashbuckler kicks in, this thing actually ramps up the damage a lot. Perks, honestly, I would look for Under Pressure, Vorpal Weapon, Heating Up, Rampage, Frenzy, Kill Clip, Masterworks I would look for. Charge time, handling, reload speed, stability even. Stability might be good on this one because, as you see, it kind of wants to get a little crazy. But it's nothing that's like too out of control. And honestly, on all these, stability wouldn't be a bad choice. And not gonna lie, guys, right there, my controller died, so I had to plug it in real quick. And when I'm recording all these as well, guys, I have my dog in the room with me, and he decided that he was going to give his input on something, and got to get a little ornery, and I had to take a quick drink as well because, you know, allergy season, and it's getting on my nerves. But as you see, though, but I digress though with everything I just said. I digress though. A lot of these fusion rifles too would benefit from a stability masterwork if you're not really familiar with them. Alright. But honestly, with this one here, it might benefit a little bit. It might not. It's all personal preference really. But these are the masterworks I would look for. Like I said, handling, stability, charge time, reload speed, and the perks I gave you guys. Now, I really hope you guys got some value out of this video. I know it's going to be kind of scatterbrained. I seem kind of all over the place. I'm so sorry. And if you guys want to get a hold of me on Facebook, I'll have the handle up on the end of the screen. And as always, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you guys get notified when I upload. Y'all take care. Y'all stay safe out there. God bless you guys. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful day. And I will see you in the next video.